Hi there, Steve McGee, back in Parliament for the first week after our winter recess, and it's been a busy week. Heading towards the end of it, it's Thursday afternoon, 20 to 5. Hopefully we'll be done here around 5:30 today. It's been a really busy week. 3 pieces of legislation has been debated. The crimes post and boast legislation, that's where someone, and we've seen it with a number of young people in our communities, committing crimes and then filming it on their telephones and posting it on social media. So there'll be greater penalties in regard to those actions by anyone that chooses to do that. So the other one was Local Jobs First, which I debated yesterday, and that's about certainly using local businesses, local employees to work on some of the major constructions and other work sites around the state. So that was a really good legislation that will get carried later today. And the last one that's being debated as we speak at the moment is the VicGrid Stage 2, and that's all to do with renewable energies, transmission of power from the wind farms and the solar farms, and improving our renewable energy situation in this state and reaching our targets. Some other things, a lot of events have gone on in Parliament this week, hell of a lot of events. We had Liverwell and the hepatitis people here, and plenty of medicos and that, trying to make Victoria hep free. And in particular in the western suburbs that has a high prevalence of hepatitis B and C. And we're trying to put as much information out there for people to be tested. It is, you can cure it and it can be managed, but it was a great event the other day where the medicos come in and explained all the situation and what we can do to try and eradicate it across the state of Victoria, which would be great and make people a lot healthier, of course. The other thing was there was the Melbourne International Film Festival, 300 movies. Have a look at the calendar. There's a website there. Fantastic movies that people will be able to get out and see in your local areas. Have a look on the website. It's a great event for Melbourne. The other ones were Transplant Australia, or the Parliamentary Friends of Transplant Australia. They came in again on Wednesday. And again, it was about organ donation, and that's what we want to see. We want to see an increase of people agreeing, firstly, to be registered as an organ donor, and secondly, have that conversation with your family members in regard to that, that if in an unfortunate situation, if someone was to pass away in the circumstances where they may be able to donate their organ, it would be great to make sure that all your family members are aware of it, that the consent at the time is given, because one donor can provide, 7 organs or tissues to at least 7 people, potentially. And we've got a shortage of organ donation in Victoria, but right across our nation. So we want people to seriously consider organ donation. Mindscapes exhibition, and it was art and craft, I should say, for people that have suffered through mental injury. Fantastic exhibition of some very creative art. That's from the Dax Centre. And today we had an amazing event where Dr. Andrew Kornberg from the Royal Children's Hospital, he's a senior neurologist from the Royal Children's. He's recently done a flight around Australia to raise awareness and raise money for Fly for the Kids. And the money, what he's trying to raise is about $4.5 million to establish Australia's first gene therapy centre for kids. Really important stuff. And I think he's about halfway there. $2.8 million he's already raised. So have a look at the Fly for the Kids website, and you'll be able to assist if anyone's interested in making a donation to try and get their centre up at the Royal Children's, which is a centre of excellence, the Royal Children's, and will help many, many kids with genetic disorders. So it's been a really busy week, a really active week. As I say, it's our first week back. Our cycle now for Parliament nearly every second week. So we'll finish up today, back in Melton tomorrow and next week, and then back to Parliament the following week. So it's been good to catch up with colleagues and to also pass the legislation that we'll get through today in the Legislative Assembly. See you in Melton.